Welcome back to the Successful Diligence podcast. I wanted to make sure that you were aware of how valuable you are to us and me here at Successful Diligence as a listener of the podcast. It means so much that you allow me to provide value through the podcast and that you listen and you show up and you invest your time. It means the world to me and I so appreciate it. One way that you can show your appreciation for the podcast, if you've gotten any value from anything we've ever said is you can support us financially so that we can continue to provide the value that you've come to know from the Successful Diligence podcast. And it can be literally less than a cup of coffee a day, 99 cents per month. That's less than $1 per month, all the way up to $5, $10, however much you want to give. But as little as $1, less than $1, 99 cents, that would make such a difference to us. You can go to the show notes and you can click the link where listener support is highlighted. There's different links in the show notes, or you can go to anchor.fm/successful diligence /support, and you can sign up there, and literally it's one time per month, 99 cents, less than a cup of coffee, and yet you would be having an impact on supporting this podcast to bring more value, reach more people, to have a greater impact in the world. And we appreciate in advance any support that you're able to provide. Again, anchor.fm/successful diligence /support, or you can click the link in the show notes and show your support financially. We appreciate it and we thank you in advance. Today I want to talk about when to make decisions. And decision making is a very comprehensive topic. And I go into, a lot more of what I'm going to talk about today in the Butterfly Transformation course. But the specific aspect of making decisions that I wanted to touch upon in this episode is the timing of when we make decisions. Because a lot of people make decisions that have lasting impact or implications when things are not going well, when life is not what they want it to be, or when situations are not optimal. And a lot of times people do that because they're looking for relief from an uncomfortable situation, relief from pain, relief from, an experience. They're looking to escape something. And sometimes when you are in that place mentally and emotionally, the clarity needed for an effective decision is not found there. It's not in that place because, it takes a lot of effort to go through adverse situations and circumstances that are emotionally, I wouldn't say not positive, but like emotionally draining or take a toll on you, or when you are experiencing that valley experience that we talk about, or some darkness in your life. Oftentimes when people are looking to get out of that, it's very tempting to make changes in that space, hoping that it will relieve the discomfort and change the outcome. And a lot of times making a decision from that place actually has a negative impact. It has an implication that of an outcome that is not what you really want it to be. And the time to make decisions so that they have a quality outcome is when you can objectively look at your situation from a clear point of view. When you have clarity about what's going on from an objective standpoint, where you're not coming from a place of emotion, you're not coming from a place of opinion, that is when you can make a more informed and impactful decision that's going to lead to your success or a positive outcome. You want to use data that is growth centered. So, we've talked about looking at opportunities that sometimes can be framed as a negative, as a learning opportunity or a growth opportunity. And you want to look at the data of your situation. And it doesn't necessarily mean like numbers or, but just looking at the situation from a factual point of view. So you're in a clear space, headspace, emotional space, and you're looking at and assessing and analyzing the data, the information, and you can categorize it as this is serving me, this is not serving me, rather than this is bad or good. So it's not placing a judgment on it, but looking objectively at the data of the situation. And coming from a place of growth opportunity and looking through a lens of that you are moving through and to something, not just from something. So you're not just coming out of or coming from this place that you want to make a decision to get out of, but you're actually moving through it to get to a destination. And remember that we always want to be the person that we need to be when we get to that productive outcome, that successful destination. So looking at and assessing from a clear headspace, a clear emotional space, an objective viewpoint, is this situation sort of making me or helping me become what I need to be and who I need to be when I get to that ultimate successful destination? Because that can give you hope and it can give you that second wind. A lot of distance runners, they become exhausted, but they have a second wind that kind of kicks in that brings them to that finish line. And sometimes they're surprised by what they can actually accomplish when they get that second wind. And sometimes the perspective of, okay, this is serving me to become who I need to be to get to where I want to ultimately get to, that successful goal, that positive outcome, it kind of refreshes you and revitalizes you to keep fighting, to keep pushing, to keep walking, and gives you that second wind. And you might even surprise yourself with what you accomplished during that difficult, challenging situation. And you want to remember also that life has its ups and downs, and we're always coming from a situation, coming from an experience, going through and entering into another one. So life is not static, is my point, that we're always in movement and we're either moving forward or backwards, because even when you make a decision to do nothing, you are actually choosing to stand still and let life move forward without you, which has an outcome of you being behind. So when you don't make a decision, you actually are making a decision. So I encourage you to keep persevering and come from a place of clarity when you're making decisions, major decisions, but also those minor decisions that contribute to the major decisions. And always keep walking, keep pushing. If we can ever be of service, definitely, contact us through successfuldiligence.com, the contact page, or send us an email. You can even email me directly at michelle@successfuldiligence.com. Anything that we can do to help serve you, help kind of give you any tools or resources that you're looking for, coupon codes for our online courses. Podcast listeners get 50% off. So definitely if you want a 50% off coupon for any of our courses, we've got some free courses as well. If you want to check that out, just go to successfuldiligence.com and click the school tab, and it will bring you right to the page where you can see all of the current courses that are available for you. So I hope that you found some value in today's episode. As always, keep walking. Come from a place of clarity when you're making decisions, and know that no matter where you are closer to where you want to be than you were yesterday. So as you go through this journey of life, always choose gratitude. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way for you to make a podcast. It's free. The creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. So easy to use. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so that it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many, many more platforms. You don't have to upload. They do it all for you. You can also make money from your podcast, cha-ching, with no minimum listenership. I started making money with my first episode. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Just go to your app store and download the free Anchor app, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started now. Anchor FM and get your podcast started.